What's up, everybody? It's time for the show. It's Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific on the west coast of the United States. And yes, it is All Things Fantasy Grounds Talk Show. Do I have some screen? There we go. We are going to be talking today about the Death Indicator extension. And then at the end of the show, we're going to showcase something special that's coming up, not even available yet. So you don't want to miss that. Before we get to our special guest, let me introduce my co-host on the show. In no particular order, Fury Fate, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have dark chocolate M&Ms that I will be munching on during the show. They're delicious.
Dark chocolate M&Ms, yay. I have a Diet Coke, and that's all. Leroon, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's good to hear Fury back, and I'm getting ready for Spooktober, and I'm getting excited for the show because I really like this event that we're going to be talking about. And also, I would like to say hi to everybody and enjoy the show. It's going to be a good.
Yes, and before we get into it, let me just remind everybody there's 1 hour left. There's actually 59 minutes left to enter the screenshot contest. Now, obviously, in the next 59 minutes, you're not going to go play a game and make a screenshot. But if you have screenshots, you can enter the contest. All you got to do is go to your Fantasy Grounds folder and look down here. Like I've got 2 screenshots here. You might have them there. You might not even know you have them. But go ahead and take a look at those. And if you think that one is good, send it to us. There's all the information in the chat right there. There's a special email, atfgts@gmail.com. You send those. And it's 1 per, everybody. So pick your best one and only send 1. If you send more, we just probably won't even look at it. But if you send 1, then we'll take a look. And the next week's show is going to be where we reveal the best screenshots. And we're giving away prizes. And the prizes are going to be first, second, and third. Third place will win everything in the Rob Toohey catalog. Second place will win either everything in the Rob Toohey catalog or the Fantasy Grounds module of your choice. And first place will win both. So you guys have a chance to win stuff next week by just simply sending us a screenshot. So there's all the stuff you need right there in the chat. Okay, let's get to our guest. He is the person who revamped and redid, and we'll let him explain what I'm talking about, the Death Indicator extension, and his name is Valerian. How are you today?
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? I'm doing great. I've got some Reese's Pieces here that I will be saving for the show.
Reese's
So anyway,
Pieces, excellent. All right, well, so many people already know about the Death Indicator extension, but some might not. So I know Leroon has a bunch
I
of...
don't know.
Yeah, Fury doesn't know. you haven't seen it, Fury? Mark isn't using the Death Indicator? Oh, maybe he's not.
what have you been under a gravestone all this
Yeah,
time?
under a gravestone. I see what you did. So if you want to just give a little explanation, and maybe Leroon can throw the link in the chat to the Fantasy Grounds forums. There is a forum entry for it, but maybe you can just explain a little bit about what it is, so for those that don't know.
All right. Well, the Death Indicator EX extension allows you to set up tombstones and graphics for when your NPCs and your player characters are dying and then finally reach that death state. So it's a really good extension out there, and of course it also has some extra functionality since I was manipulating tokens at the moment. So I added some cool stuff in there so you can change player character and NPC tokens.
Cool. Apparently the chat seems to think I'm not speaking very loud, so maybe I'll try to fix that here. Try that. Okay, so Leroon did put the link in the chat, so you guys can go to the forum entry, and if you go there, you will see the example of how this works. Now we're going to go through and show this. He also has a Death Indicators X, which I have here, and it basically gives you all the information about how to use it, what steps to go through, what particular things you can do, and again, we'll go through this, how it all works, and it's pretty fantastic, and it's pretty involved, actually. And
Yeah, I didn't intend for it to get this large, but with all the suggestions I've had on the forum, I just couldn't help but keep adding your guys' stuff to it. So one cool thing, you guys have suggestions or find problems with it, make sure you post on the forum there. Otherwise, I'm not going to know about it.
Cool. All right, so before we open the table, we did load the extension, which you must do. You must load the Death Indicator extension. We also loaded the module. So do you want to walk us through? Just pretend that somebody's never used this before, and let's show them what it does.
All right, excellent. Well, first thing, I wanted to make it simple to use, so you really don't have to do anything except for just load the extension. And then, of course, it will load the token module with all the tombstones for you. If you don't set anything up, it's going to use the first 2 Death Indicator tokens for your tombstones, one for player characters and the other for NPCs. And of course, that's keeping it in line with Celestian's original Death Indicator extension, which this is based on.
Right.
So from there, Rob, if you want to go ahead and bring up the options here.
Okay. So down at the bottom, we've got Death Indicators. Bunch of options here.
Yeah, it has its own little grouping there. And so as you can see, we have the indicator death type, and that's going to allow you to configure what to show. Right now it's set to blood and tombstone. So as you guys know in 5e, once you hit 0 hit points, you have to go through 3 death saves. Well, during that time, with the blood and tomb option, you're going to see 3 blood splats. Once the player actually fails all 3 death saves, that's when you're going to get that tombstone. Then, of course, we have several other options here that we will go into throughout the show. The other main cool ones that I personally like is our auto death rolls. As you guys know, there was an option for CT auto death rolls. Well, I took that option out and I added specific options for NPCs and for player characters. That way, dungeon masters can continue to have auto death saving throws for their boss monsters while allowing players to throw their own death saving throws.
Cool.
So, I mean, I could talk about this and we will go through it, but Laroon, you guys got any talking points for me?
Now, just real quick, what's the difference between auto death rolls and death saving throws?
Okay.
That seems to me to be the same.
They're not. They're not actually. Well, let's go up to the NPC death saving throws. That's more involved.
Okay.
It's just slide up in the top there in the NPC grouping that you see. Right under NPC auto death rolls, you'll see NPC death saving throws. And as you guys are probably saying right now, NPCs don't have death saving throws. Well, one thing I found is that SmiteWorks actually coded NPCs to have death saving throws, but it's handled internally. You don't actually see it. So I brought that out and I added death saving throw controls onto the NPC sheets in the combat tracker. Now, there's ways you can set this up. You can turn it on to important, like Rob has right now. When this is set to important, you actually have to enable the actual go ahead and throw one in the combat tracker because you're not going to see it in the normal NPC sheet from the sidebar button. Yeah, go ahead and throw one of those in the combat tracker for us, Rob.
Okay, now are you looking at the stream or are you looking at my Discord screen? Because it seems that you're a little behind me, so you should probably look at Discord if you...
Yeah, I probably should switch it over
because then you'll
that.
see it live and you won't have to be delayed.
Oh, okay, good. Now go ahead and open up the NPC sheet for that. Clicking on the shield there, the little dragon head.
Okay, here we go.
Now you can see the important NPC check mark. So right now, this NPC is just a minion, and as soon as it reaches 0 hit points, it's going to die and show whatever death indicator you have set up. But let's go ahead and click on that important NPC. And now you can see this NPC is going to be treated like a boss monster. So you've got your standard death saving throw controls, and of course you've got a little Grim Reaper guy icon to the left. So if Rob wanted to give us a very special graphic for when this NPC dies. He can open up his tokens and then drop whatever tombstone he wants to show when this particular NPC is killed. Yep, and there you go. So if you kill the adult blue Dracolich, you're going to see that tombstone.
Cool. And by the way, everybody, these tokens are included in the extension, so everybody would have all these.
Yeah,
And I bet
go ahead.
somebody might have a question. I don't think we've actually come out and said this yet, but this is a free thing. This is just available on the Fantasy Grounds forums. You don't have to pay for it, even though it should be. But but it's
crazy.
just awesome.
Free?
It's free. It's free.
Yeah, it is free. The reason why it's free is because, like I was saying, I modified Celestian's original code because I was playing D&D with the group I normally play with, and he had the original Death Indicator extension, and of course, one of the party members ventured far off, and they got stuck behind a bunch of skeletons and zombies and stuff. Well, he went down, and a tombstone showed up for him. So naturally, I thought he was dead. So I cast Shatter, killed all the zombies and the skeletons, and actually ended up killing him as well. And I felt really bad. And I was like, well, that's not right. So that's what prompted me to go into Celestian's code to see what was going on. And of course, everything has evolved from there.
Yeah. And then you just kept adding stuff, and now it's insane.
It is.
Okay, so now we know how we can make an NPC an important NPC and allow them to have death saving throws if you want to do that. Now, again, we should mention that is not a 5e rule. That is an extra thing that maybe you want to do in your campaigns for one boss monster or all of your monsters if you want to give them death saves. But it's not a rule in the game, but it is a cool thing you can do if you decide you want to do that.
Exactly. And if you don't really want to mess with the important, you can go ahead and close that NPC sheet out if you want. And then on the actual option, it has a few options. So important off. So you can turn saving throws off for every single NPC. And as soon as they hit 0 hit points, it's going to display a death indicator. And then if it's set to on, then you are going to see saving throws for every single NPC that's out there. So that's what the important NPC option was all about, so that you can customize who the boss monster is and who the minions are.
Right. All right, very good. You know what? I just noticed this options box in Fantasy Grounds does not have the ability to stretch the window.
Oh, time for another extension.
Time for something else. Because
Options
you know
box.
most of these windows you can resize them, right? The options one you cannot do it. That just seems now. See the setup one you can. That's just so weird, but not the options one. Anyway, yeah, time for another extension. Get on that. We want that by I want that by Wednesday. All right. What else?
All right. Let's see, because the screen's really blurry here, and I'm just having to go off of them. Okay, the PC death saving throws option. Here, let me. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from in Discord. I was doing a little better.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, on and off. Now, what this is, guys, is as you guys know, player characters always have their death saving throws. But let's say, as a game manager, a dungeon master, you want to make it an area where death saving throws no longer work. Well, you can go in there and turn that option off, and as soon as players hit 0 hit points, they're dead. Now, again, I've stated that this is definitely outside of 5e rules, and to make sure you comply, always keep that option on. But it is there, and it is available for you to use for whatever you see fit.
That's cool. Yeah, it's nice to have other options, that aren't the rules. Just because some crazy people, me, I'm against house rules, but I like that, especially for a software package like Fantasy Grounds, you were able to do.
So we've talked about, the auto death rolls for NPCs and player characters. We've talked about the death saving throw options for both NPCs and PCs. So really, the last option there that we have is this preset death indicator, Well, before we go into that, I kind of want to show you how to configure death saving throws if you want to customize it. So go ahead and
Okay.
open up the tokens module like you have there, and let's click on the death button at the bottom left.
Okay.
So here, this was actually the first thing I did when I was changing tokens for NPCs and player characters. And to keep it in tradition with Celestian's original idea, you can have different tokens for player characters and NPCs. So Rob can choose, oh, I want these tokens to show up when a player dies, or he can have totally different tokens show up for when NPCs die. And what it does is it will randomly choose amongst the tokens you have selected here to display to the character. So you don't have to show everything. You can set it up and let it automatically handle that for you. So that's pretty
Uh,
cool there.
I'm already disappointed because there's not an urn. So, like,
An
if you're
urn?
considering somebody,
Oh.
you have their ashes.
Oh,
Yeah, a
that'll be
pile of ashes.
We'll have their-
Well, guys,
Right?
here's the cool thing about doing it through tokens like this. You know, Furied wants an urn. Well, Furied can go out and find some urn graphics that look really cool, zip them up in a token module, and use them instantly with the
Yeah,
extension.
because
There's
you
no
can use
extra
any.
coding or anything you have to
What?
do.
You can use
I can
any
do my own
to
customs.
your own. Oops, I didn't delete it.
Yep, and you can use any token that you want. You know, death indicators don't have to be tombstones. So if you guys out there and you're like, I want to show the boss monster on the ground with the sword stick and throwing, hey, if you can create the graphic or find it, add it to a token module and you can
That's
use
a
it
cool
as a death
idea.
indicator.
I like
Yeah,
it. I like it that you turn into a dolphin when you die.
sure. You just might. It's a curse, right? It's that curse
Yeah.
that Hag put on you.
But the point is, you can use. These are the ones that come with. But yeah, you can basically customize it to be anything you want.
Exactly. And as you've seen earlier, the preset death indicator options adds the Grim Reaper graphic to either the player character sheet or the NPC sheet from the combat tracker. So if you don't want to have random death indicators for players or the specific monster, you can drag and drop those anywhere you see that Grim Reaper. So bring up my character sheet there if you want,
Okay.
Rob.
Um.
And as you can see, the little Grim Reaper guy there. So Rob can say, you know what, Valerian, when you die, you're going to have that tombstone.
That
And I'll
is
be
so
like, well,
amazing. I can't believe I have not been paying attention to this. I've just thought it was cool, but I had no idea it was this freaking cool.
it is. It's very in depth and
Let's see.
involved like that.
Let's give Leroon's character.
I already picked one.
Oh, you
'cause
did.
I know how to use
Damn
it.
it! I was gonna put the dolphin in for you. Damn it. Okay.
Dang it.
Exactly. Are the options for the player character select death indicator and select token turned on? And yes, they are. Okay. So here I will go in and show you that I can also choose my own little death indicator. And there it is. You should
Oh,
have seen
yep.
that all changed.
We did.
Yep.
So that's what those final two options are in the death indicator extension, where it says PC select death indicators or PC select player tokens.
And
And
all
player,
of yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I
no,
want
that's
to before
okay.
I forget. All of what he's telling you is all explained in this, in the PDF.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you forget, you can come back and watch this show, but you can also go and read that. It's all in there. So.
And the
Art.
table of contents, like any PDF, that's an actual link will take you to whatever section you want to read up on.
Oh,
So
immunity
you
to
want to
death.
see what
Boom.
immunity to death. Yeah, boom, you're right there at immunity to death. Which brings us up to our next topic, immunity to death.
All right, immunity to death. I want to be that in real life. How do you do it?
Okay, well, in Fantasy Grounds, what you have to do
Oh.
is let's go ahead and bring up the combat tracker so we can actually
Okay.
show them how to do this.
Put you guys in there with the Dracolich.
Now, open up and let's add the immune unconscious effect. Anybody you want.
Okay, let's make Leroon immune Did I spell it right? I hope I did.
I couldn't tell you. It's so blurry on my.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out because I'm going to I'm going to try to apply unconscious to him. See what I get. How come I'm not? Where the hell? So it should tell me in the chat he's immune to that. Target immune.
And
boom.
yep.
Not unconscious. Too bad.
So this immunity unconscious is already built into Fantasy Grounds for you. And again, this was another suggestion made on the forum for people who wanted me to deal with this, because once you hit 0 hit points and we start showing blood splats on you, and you're immune to unconscious, and the unconscious effect is also how the game states that you're dead.
Right.
So from having an immunity unconscious now, your players or non-player characters will no longer show blood splats, and they will no longer show a tombstone if they fail a save, 3 death saves. And so from the player's perspective, none of the status messages indicate that they've already technically killed whatever they're fighting. It just keeps showing them taking damage. So, as a dungeon master, you guys can take advantage of this. You can have an NPC that the players just can't kill, and he's guaranteed to escape no matter what the players do. You just have to make sure that the NPC runs away at some time, right? Or you can have a special condition set up to where the players have to do whatever action to kill off the boss monster, and if they don't do it, he's still kicking their tails. And so, with the immunity involved, once you finally want them to actually die and show a tombstone, all you have to do is delete the immunity to the unconscious effect. The extension will look at the health in the 3 failed death saves. Whatever those statuses are, it'll either show the blood splats if he's dying, or it'll show a tombstone if he's actually dead. So it's a really cool way to handling, cool little story mechanisms like that. Or he could just be immortal and the players will never kill him. It's up to you.
Cool. I love it.
So, yep, that's our enable immunity. And I guess the last thing that we really haven't discussed is players being able to select their own tokens, or as a dungeon master, you assigning a player character a token. So, Rob, if you'll click on the players button next to the death button down there. This allows you to now choose whatever tokens you want players to be able to select for themselves. As a GM, you've never had a problem assigning tokens to players, but sometimes you get those players like, hey, can you put this token on for me? Well, now you can go in and pre-configure which tokens you want players to be able to choose from. So throw some out there, Rob.
I throw those out there, and also I'd like to go to. Oh, we don't have them in the. I was thinking the alpha test. Got the Fantasy Grounds alpha. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Fantasy Grounds Unity has the tokens from all the people that got commissioned their token portraits for the Kickstarter, and I was looking at those the other day.
Yeah.
So, but you could if you wanted to let your players choose these, choose this. The Lich token,
anything you want, as long as it's a token.
Right.
Now, once you have them configured, close that out and go to the options. Now, for death indicators, you can either choose all or configured. The all option allows them to have access to all tombstones, where configured only allows them to have the ones that you have set up. Well, the player tokens, it's either configured or off, okay? Because I'm not going to force you guys to stream a whole bunch of token graphics down to everybody who's connected.
Right.
So with it configured turned back on, I should be able to go in and actually choose my own tokens for my player. And yep, here they are. Oh, I guess I'll be the cool little wraith that you've given me. And so now you can see in the combat tracker a nice little wraith. If we were on a map, it would also update the map token as well.
Very good.
So you've got those options.
Yeah, I guess I could have put a map in here. I didn't.
It's all good.
But yeah, so there's the token in the combat tracker. Laveroon changed his. His looks like this now. He got updated in the combat tracker as well.
And so these options make it a lot easier for you guys to manage your game and deal nice little bonuses to your players by allowing them to select their own tombstones, their own character tokens, and then of course you get to have fun killing them off.
Yeah. Maybe we should, I want to show people, I do want to get a map out here. I'll just get one of these, the Fantasy Grounds basic maps so that we can show what that looks like when somebody. So let me get one.
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Get one out here, just a regular battle map. Right, and then I'll show everybody that's in the combat. Guys. So now let's say Dracolich was just attacking the crap out of you guys.
Oh, and I'm level 1, so I'm probably dead.
Yeah, 2d6 plus let's just find out what happens here.
Let's do it. I think I can take him. What do you think, Liveroom?
Yep.
So
I think you're gonna do a save.
Can you please put the immune to unconscious on me?
oh
then I can beat him. Then I can really beat him.
well, so I let's see. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, this is probably a really bad monster for me to be doing this with. So let's get out a different monster. First of all, let me
Reverse my death here.
Okay, let's get out a more appropriate. None of these proper NPC. That's probably nobody that has anything powerful. Let's see. 2d8 thunder. Oh no, that's an effect. Where's any of these attacks? Somebody give me where this guy. Oh, here.
Oh
no,
crap.
there's no effects on here. All right, let me go. Just open the monster manual again. I tried to cheat and be lazy, and it didn't work out for me. So let me just open the monster manual and get something. Monster manual, and I'll get a proper dude out here.
We need to name him to improper NPC.
Yeah, he was very improper. I don't even remember what I was using that for. All right, let's go to NPCs and just get like a kobold or something. Very good. Kobold, throw him in there. Now, his attacks will be more for us. So, good. He's got, here we go. So I'm going to damage Valerian Stormbreaker. And he took 4 damage. So let's give him a little more. So now he's down to 3 hit points. Let's give him a little more.
Oh man.
Yeah, now it said you're dead. But isn't it supposed to be you're making death saves, or do we have maybe we have the setting wrong?
I think you had me fail death saves already, so you might want to uncheck them.
Oh, okay. Let's look at that. Yes.
But just uncheck those 3, and then
okay. Let's try that again.
You go.
So let's get back your. This always happens on a live show. I never know how to work it, and I screw it up. Okay.
It never goes right, does it?
All right. So you have no death saves. Now I'm gonna give you some damage. Here, actually, before I do that, let me blow this up bigger. Boom, boom, boom. That. Okay, so it gave you 3 death saves, so we must have a setting wrong.
Yeah, look at your settings real quick. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, PC death saving throws.
PC death saving throws off. Okay, well there's your
turn them back on, guys.
Your story. Oh, so there's the blood. Okay, hold on.
Yep.
Okay, so he's not unconscious. And now he's gonna take damage. So now he's unconscious, but he has no death save. So let's give him a death save. Fail, blood gets more. Fail, blood gets darker. Last fail. Now if I do saves, it doesn't change it.
Hold on, you just gave me 3. If you here's another thing. If you have 3 saves, as soon as you move the next actor on the combat tracker, it's going to put me to stable, okay, and take away the blood.
So it did not. Oh wait, it's got to move past you though.
Yes, there you go.
Oh, you rolled the
So
fucking
now
20.
I'm stabilized.
You rolled a 20.
Ah!
Ah,
Oh my
shit.
God! Perfect.
Nice. Okay, well
See,
let's.
things never go the way they go,
I
right?
know. Let's try that again. Okay, let's just
Make sure I have 0 hit points.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's try.
There
that
you
again. 1, 2, 3. Now if I pass the turn, it did not take away the blood.
It put me at stable. That's weird. It didn't take away the
Yeah,
blood,
and it also
though.
removed all your. We might have screwed that up somehow by doing.
Oh, you know what? I think
Because
the
you have
blood
0
actually
hit points.
stays. I think the blood actually stays. It's been a while since I've tested that feature. But
And
you're
then-
stabilized.
But yeah, it did mark you stable. And then
Yeah.
it took away the things because you're stable now, so they would start over anyway. Yeah, very good.
So drop another damage on me, and you'll see that it'll go back to making death saves.
Yeah.
And go
1,
ahead and, yeah, do it 3
2.
times so everybody can see what happens.
And you're dead.
Oh, you killed me.
Hey.
Oh,
I killed you.
no. What am I going to do?
Then Leirune's character comes over and says, I do not have Revivify, and kicks you in the ribs.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're-
my
you're-
player is
you're-
down for the count.
You're out. That is
I'm just
awesome.
going to have to re-roll.
That is so awesome. That's just really fantastic what all that does.
And the same thing, of course, applies to NPCs who have the death saving throw controls, whether they're important or you're just giving it to everybody.
Right. So there you go, everybody. Many options. Baboonsky, very cool. The Garvster, very cool. Diablo Bob, roll initiative. So that is just really cool stuff, everybody. I really love that. That's great work, Valerian. And Celestian.
Hey.
Celestian did a fantastic thing by even just creating this, and then you took it to like superstar level. I don't even know if Celestian might not even be here right now. I don't think he's here.
Well, that's that.
But he was very on board with all this, so that's cool.
Yeah, he actually gave me a really cool comment there in the forum on the Death Indicator EX extension. And I thought it was nice that the original author gave me a thumbs up for it. But you guys, I have over 18 years of professional software engineering experience to back it up. So,
And we're going to talk
but
about
it's
a little
really
bit of that here in a minute.
excellent.
Prize time.
Yeah, let's give away a prize, which today I think we'll just give away. This is free, so everybody gets this. If you want this, you can just go get it at the forums. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, the link will be in the description below. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube, you need to come join us on Sunday nights because we give away stuff free, like we're going to do right now. So let's go to a keyword raffle. Let's make the prize Rob Tui DM's Guild thing, which I can give away without having to kill anybody. And let's make the keyword Valerian. We'll start start it. I hope I spelled it right. Valerian.
That is correct.
So keyword Valerian, everybody. Go ahead and type in !Valerian in the chat. And you'll see your name come up on the left here on the list over there. Then after 2 minutes, we'll draw a winner. Before we move on to the secret thing, Leroon, I know you had some questions. Did everything get answered that you wanted to ask him? All right, fuck you. Where'd he go?
Give me time. He has to go through the list.
Yeah, I got to go through the list.
Oh, okay.
There was
that was an in joke, by the way. The other day on our Friday night game, Joe was doing intros for the players, and somebody went, like CJ went, and then Fury went or whatever, and then it was time for Zelicar to go, and her character's name is Voila, and he goes voila, and there's this just 4 or 5 pregnant pause, and then he goes, fuck you, Sling. And he just went to the next person, and I found that to be so funny. I don't know, I just went back and watched the video like 14 times. So
No, I was gonna
Yeah, go ahead.
ask about the Tomb of Annihilation rules. Does that affect anything with the death save?
You
I don't know if it
know,
matters or not, because
I
those were kind
haven't.
of. It don't matter. I just wanted to know if you thought of that part or if it matters with the
Guys, this is literally my first extension in Fantasy Grounds, and I'm relatively new to Fantasy Grounds itself. I
Ah,
think I've been playing for about 6 or 7 months, and I'm still learning so much stuff that goes into the game, and especially in the rule set. So, if there's something, and this goes for everybody, if there's something I'm not supporting that you want to have supported, feel free to make a post on the forums there for the Death Indicator extension posting there. And, if it's a good suggestion or if it's part of the game, I will get right on it.
yeah, I don't remember the rules for it,
Yeah, I
but
was
there
just
was
going
something.
to look for that. There is a meat grinder, it's called.
Yeah.
In Tomb of Annihilation, death saving throw succeeds on a roll of 15 or higher instead of 10. This
Wow.
effect when the soulmongers destroyed other rules. So, I thought there was a thing in here that maybe they made that work somehow, but I could have swore there was.
Well, if all they did was make death saving throws require 15 or higher,
Uh-huh.
then Death Indicators should work without any problems with it.
Right, but I was trying to figure out how do you tell Fantasy Grounds to do that, and there was a way. I thought they did it, but I don't see that here. I could have swore there was a.
Yeah. This is the only in-house rule I can think of that would possibly even contradict anything we're doing, but I think we're fine.
I think we are. And like I said, if you guys do find problems, just let me know. You can also reach me on Discord, but I think there's quite a few Valerians on there. So it's just best to post right there on the Death Indicator forum.
All right,
You
let's
said it's
draw.
auto-modified to -5. Huh.
Yeah, so you set the DC. Oh, right, that's what it was. Yeah, -5 on your death save roll. That's right. That's what
Yep.
you do. And I think what I did is I made when I did the campaign, I just made a. I made. I think I did this like whatever the code is, death save -5 or whatever. I think I did that. Let me see if this works. Whatever it is, maybe it's just death -5. Try that again. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste the whole
Yep.
show, but
Yep.
I wish you hadn't asked that. But anyway, that is a good point though. But there, I swear, that's why I opened up Tomb of Annihilation and I went to this because I remembered it, and I could have swore there was something in there that said, "Here's the code that you use for that," or but it's just not there. And I think what I'm remembering is, in an unknown whom I wrote a thing for proficiency 0 for people, but. That's again,
Okay.
we don't need to get into all that. We're just wasting time talking about that. So, but his thing would still work. You just do your. Oh, that's because I spelled death wrong. Jesus Christ. Okay, now I'm morbidly curious to see if it even works this way. No, it doesn't. So there is a. I mean, I'd have to. So hold on, everybody. Let's learn this since this is a learning show. Let's just go figure it out. Go to the FX wiki and look up death. What it says.
Yep.
Disadvantage death. Death.
And more death.
Yeah, but there's not. So there's advantage on death. There's disadvantage on death. But I could have swore there was just death by itself. Which apparently there's not. So we would have to.
Time for another extension.
Check options for meat grinder. Is Drake? Are you saying that's what somebody should do, or are you saying that exists? If I could only stretch this window, god damn it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take, I don't want to spend, I don't want to spend 5 minutes figuring that out because nobody gives a shit. But
Okay.
But you can, I mean, one way to fix it is just do a -5 on your death save. Then click -5 down here, do a death save, and then, you got a 9, so you didn't pass. You know what I'm saying? You still have to get to 10.
Cool.
But
Well, Lebrun or Fury, do you guys have any more questions or anything else on your sheet there, Lebrun?
Yep.
Okay, let's give away the prize first.
Okay.
Winner is Sean Quad. Sean Quad Van Dam,
Quad.
you win. Sean Quad Van Dam.
All right.
So Sean Quad, I don't recognize your name from before. So if you are not a member of my Discord, just go to this link and then send me a PM, send me a direct message in Discord, and say, hey, I won on the show, and then I'll tell you how you can collect your prize and tell you what's up with that. Okay, very good. Congrats to him. So let's finish up the questions that you guys have for Valerian before we move to the secret thing we're going to show everybody. Oh my god.
Okay. So usually when we have a guest on, we ask about a little bit about their history. We kind of skipped that, went right into the extension, which I appreciate. But I'd like to know a little bit about how you started gaming and what got you into Fantasy Grounds, like how you found it, that sort of thing.
Okay, excellent. Well, I started playing D&D when I was about 10 years old, and I played consistently until, I was about 13 or 14. Then I got into skateboarding and stuff, and life kind of did some other stuff there. But from there, as an adult, I did a lot of software engineering jobs. I was the director of engineering for Envision Gaming and Casino Systems Incorporated. Most of my career has actually been developing Class 2, Class 3 electronic slot machines. So if you're ever in Oklahoma or in Vegas, you get a good chance you might actually play a game that I created. And then I was playing, well, I had a really bad problem with my hip. I ended up having a hip replacement after a few other surgeries. And so I started getting back into Dungeons and Dragons. And then the crew I was playing, with pen and paper at the table, they all disbanded, as happens with a lot of good games. And I started looking for online solutions. And I got on Roll20, and I was like, man, this is horrible. And so I
Sorry, you
started.
cut out just there for a second. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that. I think there was a swear word in there or some sort of bad connection.
Did you just curse? Did you just curse?
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. When you said Roll20.
Yeah, I did actually. Unfortunately, the FCA and all of them have me on a thing where they beep it out. Nah, but what I was saying is, I ended up having a hip replacement and started playing D&D again in real life, and I found Roll20 after my group disbanded, and it sucked. And I was like, no, that's not for me. And then I found Fantasy Grounds. And that was, like I said, about 6 or 7 months ago. And I haven't turned back since. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and Fantasy Grounds, and then I learned about extensions. And see, back in the day, I used to write Valve server plugins for Counter-Strike and Day of Defeat. I'm the guy that wrote Net S2S, which allowed server admins to kick people in all their different servers while they continue to play Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat or whatever they else liked. So that's where I got into extension coding. And then finding that Fantasy Grounds had it, I was like, oh, I definitely have to do this. And then luck have it, I found Rob through a friend of mine that I was playing in the campaign with him, and it's pretty much gone from there.
And that leads us into what we're about to talk about, which is our working relationship. Everybody knows that Diablo Bob is the guy that made the Critically Awesome Essentials and One Click Druid and has many other things in the pipeline. And I teamed up with Valerian to work on projects here in the future. So let's talk about one of those that's coming down the way. I don't have a timeline. Maybe Valerian wants to drop a timeline on us, but we can at least
Well,
tell
I hate
people.
setting deadlines because then you have to hit it.
Right.
But I would say in the middle or to the end of this month, guys. Diablo
Wow.
Bob has been taking up a huge chunk of the coding on what we call the portal extension, and I'll get into that. But we're basically developing the vehicle combat extension so that we can do battles between ships and land vehicles, airships, and things like that. And a lot of it is based on the Salt Marsh rules, the Ghost of Salt Marsh. So, this is some of the preliminary work that I did for Diablo Bob for the portals. As you can see, the portals sidebar button. And then, of course, we have the vehicles sidebar button where it allows you to set up vehicle NPCs. And then, if you'll bring up the next screenshot,
Oops, not that one.
yeah, that's the vehicle buttons. Above that was the portals. Now, once this finally streams out, it's a little bigger image. There we go. And this is kind of what you're going to see for ship combat. Now, to the right, you've noticed we've added a combat tab to the NPC sheets. And by clicking on that, you'll be able to drag the helm, the sails, cannons, ballistas, and things like that onto the ships. And then what you don't see is in the combat tracker, next to the effect icon, there will be the ship icon up there. And you will be able to bring up a separate combat tracker so players can target the helm or the cannons or the sails of a ship. And if you've ever played Ghost of Salt Marsh, you know those are actual things you can attack, which will injure the ship and make it run slower or actually sink it if you destroy it.
Yeah.
So that's some of the stuff we've got going in now. Well, I didn't send you any of the ship level maps, did
No, you only sent me these three pictures, which were
I? Dang it.
the
Hold on
the
one
buttons
second.
there, and then if you have these ships and you click on the combat thing, it changes to this. Um,
One
and
moment, I'm a little slow.
and for anybody, let's see what has this. Ghosts of Salt Marsh, Descent into Avernus has vehicles, but instead of ships, they're war machines. So it's like Mad Max. And then, of course, Eberron, when that comes out, will have those as well. And probably, I mean, I don't know for sure, none of us do, but more than likely, every Wizards of the Coast module going forward is going to have some sort of vehicle or ship thing. Because that's the new part of what they're doing now. And these rules have been in the Unearthed Arcana for a few years, but they finally actually threw it into the game. So, pretty cool to be able to
So
have this.
I'm sending Rob the actual test maps that we're using for this. Now I've talked to the artist and he's going to allow us to actually redo some of these maps. But this galleon that you're about to see is actually one of the ship models that we'll have in game.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so what Bob is working on, Diablo Bob is working on what we call portals, and it can be a separate extension that is packaged with the vehicle combat. And so you're going to be able to, where you see the stairs leading to different levels, you're going to be able to set up a portal. And when a character moves onto those stairs, it's going to ask them if they want to move to the next level. And of course, they'll hit OK, and it's going to automatically switch the map for them and place their token right by
Oh my
where the
god.
exit portal is.
That is did you guys hear that? Maybe you want to say that again. That just seems so incredible to me.
Exactly. Well, like I said, for any map that you have where there's stairs, doors that lead into areas that would be a different map, you're going to be able to set up portals that will prompt the character to ask them if they want to move to the next level. When they say yes, it's going to automatically switch the map for them and move their token to the new map and place them on there correctly. And so that's going to be a really big thing because, you know, one of the problems I've seen playing a game is I've got to wait 5 or 10 minutes for the DM to get the new map and move everybody's tokens over to it. Well, with this Portals extension, that's going to be a thing of the past for you guys. Players are going to be able to move themselves to the new map based upon portals that you have configured.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Now the one thing I'm wondering, because I haven't seen it in action yet, but the one thing I'm wondering is so the DM might have to have 2 or 3 maps open if players decide to get stupid and split the party. Oh, I'm gonna go
Actually,
up to the.
hold on. There's another part to it, and there will be a navigator. And what that's going to do is we're replacing the normal map image control with one that has a nice little list to the left side that takes all the open maps, moves them to one window, and then you can just navigate to whatever your map
Oh,
using one window.
Nice.
so maps are gonna be sort of same as this. They'll be this map, this map, this map, this map, like that.
All inside a single window. Now
Oh my
we're gonna
god.
we're gonna
Oh,
make it to where you
I
can
don't.
launch multiple instances of this, okay, if you really want to.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's kind of like, I don't know. You guys have used controls where you could navigate to different, you know, code or images or whatever just from a list to the left. Well, it's no different than that.
Huh.
That's just
So I had a
crazy.
question for you.
Go ahead.
Regarding that particular functionality, is there going to be a way to pick up or down? So if you're in the middle
Oh yeah,
deck,
definitely,
so if you're on
definitely.
the middle deck,
It will. Just to answer your question, Leroon,
okay.
you will be able to choose the direction you're moving. And of course, this is still in development, so
Right.
give us a little bit of time.
And Bob
But yeah,
is
we have planned for all of that.
in the chat reminding us that this will be core RPG, so it will work with other rule sets, not just 5e.
Exactly. And the Navigator window is also core RPG. The only thing that is 5e will be the vehicle combat extension. That we have to make 5e because of the 5e rules and stuff.
Oh, Bob did send here's a picture of the portal. Oh, I never even
Oh, sweet.
I never even remember him. He's in the chat. Didn't I send you a picture? I'm like, I don't remember. Oh, so there'll be a button for portals. Oh my god, I gotta take a nap. This is too much for me. This is gonna be. I mean, imagine that, everybody. Just imagine you're on the map and you're like, oh, I'm going below deck, and you just click that and it opens up the other map and your token's there. And...
So that
One
works for
thing-
dungeons, right? And everything else.
Yeah, one thing that we want to make clear is that your players will just see whatever stairs is there. They don't see the portal icon. That is for the GM so that he knows where he placed the portals. And so we're still working on that, but yes, that will be packaged up with our vehicle combat extension.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Yes.
now let me warn
Like-
everybody that this thing that we're talking about here, this will not be free. So get ready, everybody, because a lot of work is going into this stuff, and there's a team of people working on it. So this will not be free. So just get ready.
No, but another cool thing is that will not be free, but part of the Death Indicator extension. For the Vehicle Combat extension, I'm releasing a special version of the Death Indicator tokens that you can only get through the Vehicle Combat extension that will actually have vehicle death tokens. So if you want to see that burning ship or that ship sinking into the water, get our Vehicle Combat extension because we're going to be doing vehicle death indicators in that as well.
Babunsky says $99.99.
That's the MSRP.
The market has set the price.
The market has set the price. Everybody take down Babunsky's name. He's the one that quoted the price, and it's going to be $100 now.
So we get a 15% discount, right?
Yeah. I can do coupons. Oh, that's funny. But that's going to be. That's going to be. Yeah. I'm so glad you came on, and I'm so glad to now. I of course will be using the Death Indicator in all my games that I DM because I didn't realize how extensive it was, and it's just so cool.
Well, I'm glad you guys liked it. I didn't expect this much support from the community, but that just makes me love Fantasy Grounds community and the players and the GMs that much more. Now, guys, I need people to help me do quality assurance testing too. So one of my little deals I cut for people that are going to help me do quality assurance testing, and you've got to follow the test cases and do it right. You just can't do this and expect to just kind of weasel your way through it, because I'm going to be checking. But if you guys will spend your time helping me test extensions that I develop, I promise that you will have a free version of it.
Nice.
Yeah, good deal.
Even if I have to pay for it myself, you will get the free version of it for helping me test.
Perfect.
Oh, he's Bob is sending me another screenshot. Okay, let's take a look here and see what he sends me. I thought he
So
was
are the images going to be, stationary, or can you add your own maps in?
Oh, you'll be able to do whatever you want.
Cool.
It's just a way of adding portals to maps. And
Nice.
since ships have multiple levels that you can
Yeah.
navigate,
Hmm.
we wanted to have a real easy way that players can move throughout the ship. And during our development discussions, Diablo Bob said, why don't we just make this a separate extension? And that way everybody can benefit from that. And I was like, Diablo Bob, you're right on track with this. So excellent.
I'm going to be excited if I can lay out my dungeon, set my portals up, and not have to dink around with moving people up and down the levels.
That was the whole point of it, Leroon.
Yep.
So here's Bob sent me another one. Portals, and then I'm hoping he's gonna say what this is in the chat.
I tried to get him to come on the show with me,
Yeah,
but
he was gonna come on the show tonight, but he wasn't. He's in the chat, but he wasn't able to commit to coming on the show because he's got, I don't know if he's got his young child with him, or there was some reason he couldn't actually be on the show. But he said he might be in the chat, so I'm glad he is. Yeah, Bob. So we got it here, but you got to tell us, what is this? Yeah, McDork is pointing out.
Diablo.
Yeah, well, that's how Valerian says his name, Diablo Bob.
I know.
As he says it. 20.
Well, I mean, on the screen it says custom selectable portal tokens will have different shapes to cover different types of something
Different types
that's
of
behind
areas.
the open regional. Oh, okay, there.
Very
Cool.
good. Okay, so yeah, like I'm looking at this picture and Fury's already fucking reading the shit back here, and I didn't even see it. All right, very
You're
good.
so
Well,
smart,
this is
Rob.
all just very exciting, everybody. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
look at
this
the
is
comments.
cutting edge.
It is cutting edge, and many more things besides this coming. So this is the one we can talk about now.
See, now I can see, the whole party, doing the classic splitting up and then just getting lost on the map because they're going to click all the goddamn portals.
Yeah. Well, the DM, yeah. What's this do? Click. Oh, I'm dead.
Oh my god, this is going to make
it's a portal to the
so much
grinder
easier.
universe,
it's called,
right?
This is
Drake,
awesome.
Drake Take says the name of the extension is called Split the Party Extension.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, excellent.
But I mean, I'm just thinking of it like for Mad Mage, that's going to make Joe's job so much easier.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
because we'll still be playing this Mad Mage game for the next 2 years. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We're on session like 34, and we're on level 5. It's insane. But our party is very completionist. We have to go open every door and look in every nook and cranny.
I want to get a portal. Like all portals lead to jail. So if
Oh,
you try
that would
to,
be
Yeah, there you go. You're just in a cell. That's it.
Well,
All
yeah,
right,
you can even do that for your teleporter pads too. Just set up
Yeah.
a portal and wherever locations that you want it to go, and boom, let the players deal with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, very good. Well, after the show ends, right now, we are gonna Fury and Leroon and I are gonna look at the screenshots that everybody sent in. The deadline's right now. It's at 7:00, and so next week's show we will have the best of the screenshots, and we will be giving away first, second, and third prizes. And I said what those prizes were at the beginning of the show, but just to remind everybody, the third place winner will win everything I've ever done on DM's Guild. The second place winner will have the choice of getting everything I've ever done on the DM's Guild or the Fantasy Grounds module of their choice on the Smiteworks store. And then the first place winner will get both. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this show. I'm super excited about what's already been done, and I'm even more excited about what's coming. So thanks to Valerian for coming to the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, very, very good show. Very awesome show and very much information. Any final questions for him out of either one of you two?
Not really. I'm just thankful he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
I'm
glad to be here.
excited. I'm also kind of excited and also curious how this is going to work with Unity.
Until I can actually get a copy of Unity, it's hard for me to answer that question. However, from what everybody knows, it's supposed to be backwards compatible with existing extensions. So whatever problems that arise in Unity, Diablo Bob and I will be very quick in getting in there and fixing those.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be... Nobody knows until that day comes, but there theoretically shouldn't be anything that needs to be changed or fixed. But if that does happen, it won't be very difficult to do whatever steps are necessary to fix it.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching tonight. Thanks for being here. Congrats to the prize winner. I will get to him later. I saw that he PM'd me already. And we're going to go ahead and end the show so that we can take a few minutes offline to look at those pictures and make some judgments. And we'll have the show and display the screenshots next week and show the winners. And so until then, good gaming, everyone.